We're still off air.
And we're live.
Now we're live. All right, welcome to my second chat. It's just free for all. Any topics you guys want to talk about? You can go. Off air right after Beaker, and then we start talking about the FedEx not allowing the Ghost Gun CNC machine to be shipped on their network.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Those
Huh?
what's that exactly?
Well, there's this company called, where is it? Defense Distributed, and they sell CNC machines, stuff like that. And they've made one.
Oh, the printing, or the 3D printing stuff.
No, it's a CNC.
No, it's a CNC. It's a $1,500 machine. It's known as the Ghost Gunner.
Metal work. It's like yeah. And the only reason they won't ship it is because they've labeled it as the Ghost Gunner, like, so it's somehow like made for guns, even though any CNC machine can do the same thing this one can.
Yeah.
And FedEx and UPS have refused to ship it.
Oh, UPS did too?
Yeah, look at the very bottom.
They were talking on Tech Daddy's chat earlier, and I was watching for a little bit, and said that they're doing that with the 3D print.
With what?
This 3D printer that makes is specifically made for like making AR parts. It's designed that FedEx was saying that they were not gonna. They're refusing to ship that.
What's stupid is they don't understand that anybody can buy any 3D printer as long as the grid is big enough to fit the part, and then all they gotta do, they can adjust the flow of the material and all that, and put the right software, and they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Or just have, you buy some mills, you buy, press and stuff like that. You can make, buy an 80% lower, and you can build it. And you can build your own gun.
With a drill press.
Same thing, yeah. And drill presses cost what, $100?
Yeah, exactly.
If that.
Yeah, UPS is union controlled.
Yes, that is true.
FedEx is a privately owned.
No, FedEx is public.
Are they public?
Yes.
I thought they were private.
On the
But
stock market.
they're out of Memphis. They're based out of Memphis, Tennessee, I believe.
Yep.
But UPS, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know why. Well, what do you care?
Yes, out of Atlanta, Georgia.
What do you care where what you're shipping, as long as you're getting paid to do it?
Well.
I mean, obviously drugs and contraband stuff that is officially illegal.
Illegal, yeah, but there's nothing illegal about this. Completely.
Right. It's a CNC machine. Anybody can do it.
And they're claiming like for liability reasons or something, but that's kind of bogus, I think.
Well, that's what they were saying in that other chat list. But yet they'll ship corrosive and dangerous chemicals. They'll ship them with no problem for a certain fee. Stuff that's harmful to the environment, all kinds of stuff that's being shipped that's shoot from it, think of dangerous chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And they got no problem with that because there's some kind of controlled environment. I like this meme I saw today. The TSA TSA can grab your junk at the airport and grab your box at the airport, but don't fuck with my internet.
Yeah, that everyone at work, they were like, "Oh, that's so good, that's so good." I went, "You guys are stupid."
Oh yeah, the net neutrality thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to tax it. They're going to tax it for your usage. And once that happens, my iPhone, it's probably going to be gone. I want to go back to a dumb phone.
Yep.
They already tax the shit out of you. If you ever look at your damn phone bill, poison control and all kinds of shit you're paying on your, it's a fucking like $10 charge you see are tacked onto your bill every time you get one. You ever read?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me read the email. Unless I deleted it, I may still have it in the White House. I don't know. I may have deleted it. Let me check. Oh, yeah, here.
That thing's been going on for like over 10 years. I remember hearing about it in 2002, 2001, over 10 years. About 2000, 2003, I heard about that net neutrality when it was first starting to, their lobbyists getting involved to push the legislation a certain way.
So here's what's funny. The White House sent this email, and the first thing it says is, a note from the president on net neutrality. And it says below it, the FCC just voted in favor of a strong net neutrality rule to keep the internet open and free. Like, that could be far, I mean, that could be more far than from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine the way it is right now. I mean, unfortunately, it happening, did preserve some things, but it, like Foos is saying, is on the back end of it. I'm sure they're going to use some political football to get something done.
Oh, are you ready for it? Posted something, and even in their own words, is saying, mark my words, there will be more taxes. There will be taxes on them. Absolutely.
I trust that as far as I can throw it anyway. I want to get into that one. But I mean, no. I mean, there's always something. I mean, it's going to be used for some agenda.
Yeah, I mean, just like trying to get on cable TV, you have to be a certain level of reporter or whatever. They're going to do that for blogs and YouTube and everything else. It's just going to stifle content. It's going to limit the First Amendment.
Well, look at this. I mean, in the past, I was talking to my wife earlier in dinner, is that competition was healthy. When you had these companies competing, there's very few competition or competitive stuff going on with the corporations, because they learn to stop hamstringing each other and work together to make money, instead of you get this piece of the pie and I get that piece of pie. They just kind of share it and divvy it up, and whoever at the end, there's some differences within the products being produced or offered to the consumer, but realistically a lot of it is just to regulate or not regulate, but keep them where they're at. Because like if you notice, all those companies are being bought out. Comcast, Time Warner, and all this shit we were all consolidating. And when you consolidate, you just have less people to compete with. They claim to have give you more of a bigger network and bigger areas and blah 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 and this and that, and providers within a certain area, but it's not really.
Now saying if they can't, if they would have went through Congress and made a law saying, okay, you can't stifle speed to one ISP, I'd have no problem with it. And if that's as far as they want, that's fine. But going further is bullshit.
Yeah, read some of the posts here in the gun chat, or the gun channels chat. It's pretty funny. They tried doing this shit. I don't know if you heard. In Texas, they tried doing this a ways back. Time Warner started in Beaumont, the armpit of Texas, and they tried doing this thing where they were trying to we're gonna put data caps on your, kind of like Time Warner back when they used to pay by the minute. They're going to do data caps on your internet, and I was like, why would you do that when people are using more devices? I mean, smartphones, when this happens, their smartphones are just starting to pop out, but not they weren't as available, or not that many people had them as back then. But when people, with all the smartphones that people have in one house, plus your TV now is sucking up data, your computer if you're gaming, you're streaming videos, you're on these chats, everything. They're trying to pitch it as, why are you paying for all this internet that you don't use? This unlimited internet you're paying for, but you don't use it. Let's get you on a plan, save you half of your money. Instead of $50, you're paying $25, and you only use the internet that you need. And of course, it's like, yeah, I mean, Beaumont. They did actually place it in there, but they did install it. They rolled it back, but they tried to do it in San Antonio, and I was like, yeah, we're not having any of that. People want all the internet that they got right now. If not, they want more, and they want it faster.
Yeah. My ISP says that you have a limit, and they'll actually cut off at a certain gig. I think it's a couple hundred or something like that. But I've gone past that, and they've never cut me off.
Yeah, they pulled it back to apologize or sorry or miscommunicated or some stupid apology. We miscommunicated the way we wanted to offer this as a service to the public, but we'll go ahead and we're going to leave it as is and until further efforts when we basically are going to remarket it and try to sell it a better way or get you to bite on it.
Damn. Drop something on my damn keyboard. I'm trying to get the damn thing out. Yeah, it's... Net neutrality is just going to start destroying it, and whenever people start getting all these taxes and stuff, they're going to be like, where'd this come from? It's... A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it. We'll just see how the government uses it. The FCC used it, which we already kind of know how they'll go. But you know, I'm almost surprised that they didn't already try to do this with cell phone coverage like they do with the phone line. Heck, another coworker of mine said they ought to just make everything have everything with hotspots, so you could just, you know, go on and, you know, basically have free internet everywhere.
Yeah, it's funny how they're selling it a lot cheaper now. It used to be like $80 a month for a hotspot, and they only gave you barely any. You know, it's basically like internet. They didn't want you to stream off of it initially. Yeah, where I work, it's a public, whatever you want to call it, company. Not public, but it's a school district nevertheless, and they get pretty. It's like $40 a month for that hotspot. They give you to carry around, and it's unlimited internet on it. $40 price, and it's just kind of iffy though. So there's times it works great, and there are times it's just fucking petering out.
Yeah, if it's for a hotspot, you're all based on cell coverage, and where your cell coverage is, you'll have good internet, and when it, you know, sucks, your internet sucks with it. So. A Quark. Came in a day late.
Nice. Couple of tips for you since you're new to quads. Let the battery after you've drained it, basically when the lights start flashing. Let the battery cool a half hour to an hour.
Really? Oops.
Yeah. If you start charging them right away, it drastically reduces the life of the battery.
Okay. Well,
every
this one's
once
already
in a while it won't hurt, but I mean it's trying to do that. That's what I do.
I've done it twice, but I also have 4 or 5 more batteries coming in the mail, so that'll help.
Yeah. How do you like it?
It's good. It took me the first run on it. I just kept it about an inch or two off the ground, just trying to set the trim and stuff on it.
Yeah. Did you calibrate it?
The first time, no. But
second time you did the down left?
I've only calibrated mine like one time.
Yeah, down left and then back and forth a bunch of times.
Yep.
I've only calibrated mine like one time, and after that, I just I adjust it every time I turn it on if I need to.
Yeah.
Usually mine always wants to pull to the left.
Same here. Same here.
Probably the design of it. Then. Oh, one thing, tip too, those legs, I don't know if you noticed in the instruction manual, but they're made to snap when it has a little hard landing.
Yes.
Not break, but they'll come apart. You just snap back together on the bottom, underneath the. Yeah.
Talking about, or some people are talking about proposing laws to ban or limit the usage of those things because of all the shit that's happening with the White House and people flying them around there and all that shit.
Well, the thing is
Amazon is pissed because they're like, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Well, it should be this. There should be, if there's FAA regulations, that's fine. Have air zones that you can't fly them in, and if you do, you arrest them for that. Don't ban them.
I'm going to tell you this right now. You know, drones just because of the name. They're quadcopters, but they get the name drone.
Well, no, if you fly them autonomous, then they're drones, in my mind. If you take and you have them using the GPS and you say, hey, go to this waypoint, then that, and all you have to do is hit a button. You know.
Oh, that is definitely a drone, but they call quadcopters drones all the time.
Yeah, even people like, for example, I was at work today and everybody's talking about snow. I'm like, yeah, I hope if we get a good snow, I'm gonna take my I'm gonna have a quad rider with the camera on it. I'm gonna get some footage. They're like, oh, you got a drone? I'm like, oh yeah, I guess so. It's like, never heard anybody call it that before, but apparently that's what people think of.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, Cork.
That's not me.
Jeez, turn the sound off.
Is it that bad?
No. I barely hear it.
Hey, here's a tip too: turn your lights off when you're flying, so you don't run your battery dead quickly.
How do you turn them off? How do you turn them on?
Okay, your left. Hold your camera up to hold your remote control up to the camera. I'll just explain it to you. It's a lot easier. Okay, so the adjustment rudder for the elevation.
On the right?
The little.
This one?
No, the other one. It's the one that adjusts that one. Hold it down for a second. No. Not the rudder. The aileron adjustment.
Oh.
You don't know. The one to the right of that. The little clicker thing there that adjusts your.
This?
Yeah.
Dude, tell him not the joystick, the button.
Oh, okay.
It's called the trim.
Trim. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So that little tiny helicopter's got a camera in it. So.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Look, hey, check out this footage I got today of mine. I flew it pretty high above the trees.
I left a comment. Why did you ask if I watched it? I left a comment.
I didn't see it.
So can you do anything to those to give them like ballast or something so that they don't wiggle so much?
You can trim them out a little bit, but this is not a GPS controlled, so
They're pretty stable though. Like if you're just giving it throttle and you're not trying to turn or anything, it'll hover pretty flat.
Mine goes forward most of the time. Like, even if
So if you were trying to get good video, you could just kind of let it hover places and get good steady video.
Yeah, look at the link I just put in. That's the video I took, and it's fine whenever I'm just hovering around. But when I get up high and I'm not making any adjustment at all, the camera just goes crazy because it's so windy up there and everything. It's just, it's hard to keep it still when you're that high.
Are you flying in advanced mode or beginner mode?
No, I was flying in beginner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more stable that way.
Well, we're gonna start. I was talking to Sandy the other night, and I think we're gonna start an actual just drone chat. So,
that'd be cool.
Just talk about nothing but drones in that one.
That'd be awesome. I know Sandy. Steve. We'll call him by his real name here. He actually prefers it. Big into the RC hobby. I was for quite a while.
Yeah, I think I may get into another hobby. This is kind of fun.
I have a big interest in it, but I don't have a lot of RC stuff. Just
So I'm saying, like, I'm watching your video here. I'm only 42 seconds in, so I don't know when this is going to get steady or whatever, but you could get stills out of it for sure. But if you tried to make a video, like, of a range or, something like a house or a museum or something from, like, the air, it would look all, like, jumpy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you could get some that have that are GPS controlled and,
Well, but not tiny ones like that, right?
No, not tiny. No, you're gonna look at about $1,000.
But I was thinking, what if you were to like put a helium balloon or something, and then use that thing to stir around the helium balloon? Would that steady it? Or like a blimp,
really.
Like if that thing powered the blimp.
How would you get? Well, yeah, I guess so. Like if the air off of it did. Come on, like the wind.
So a helium balloon's just going to sit wherever you put it for the most part. And I'm just thinking that might be more steady, just sitting there, and then that thing can go on when it needs. You can turn that thing off, right? You can just pump that thing on and off when you needed to move the balloon around.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But how would you land it? Because
I don't care. I'm just trying to think of a way to only spend $70 instead of like $170 or $370 to get a camera that's steady.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the camera quality is really good, and as soon as it stays still for a second, it does keep good quality. It's just that little body is so small that there's nothing stopping it from getting blown around by every gust of wind.
I want to try to keep it in the frame here.
And then they make software that'll stabilize it, I guess. That'll get rid of the wiggle.
Yes.
There's not a whole lot you can do about that.
Yeah, these are itty bitty quads.
You'll see, like, he's getting affected just by having the amount of wind that thing puts off, and it'll push off anything, like his ammo cannon. If you flew next to his ammo cannon, you get a push from the wash, and it'll affect the stability.
Yeah. And then sometimes, dang it, you can kind of tell.
That thing now?
I got it today. It's the third time I've flown it.
Oh, okay. Have you ever flown one of them before?
Nope.
So they must be pretty simple to use then. It seems like
Not
you're
fairly.
got it, right?
Yeah, they're quadcopters for the most part are beginner to intermediate. I mean, you can get to some advanced ones.
You can get some that will flip and everything like that on command. I mean, these do a little bit, not really. But yeah, you get some that are just absolutely crazy.
Yes.
Like go upside down and stuff like that.
And these will actually flip. These will actually do both forward and sideways flips. You got to go into advanced mode to do that, and it's difficult.
Barrel rolls and flips. I would say the barrel rolls are much easier than the flips. Well, I don't know. Maybe it depends.
How do you put it to expert?
Well,
Oh, I just did it.
yeah, as I say, you hold down the right.
You don't have to
Sorry,
hold it
stop.
down. You just click it one time.
Click it.
Yeah, click it. Lights will flash.
One thing you don't want to do is switch from mode. Well, whatever mode that it's in now, you don't want to switch to the other mode 2 or 3, whichever one it is. Mode 1, 2, or 3. One of them is it uses the throttle, the other joystick. It uses the joystick that doesn't have the return to center. That's the throttle. So you have to force it back down if you want to let off throttle, and it's very difficult to fly like that.
And see how it's flashing now? I'm
Land.
So
He's already like huge off the ground and pretty much landed.
yeah. So
No, when it
basically
flashes like that, it means the battery needs to be stopped. You're at 20% battery, and that's the best time to recharge it.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah. So I mean, it's what 3 minutes of flight time for
What?
that?
No, there's
How long does it take to charge?
About an hour.
An hour. No, mine when I got my brand new, it would fly for like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah.
That's because you're constantly crashing, walking over, and picking it up.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Funny.
I guess you could go back and see when I started to fly it because the entire flight was on camera.
I timed to fly it back whenever I first got mine. I was flying inside and I was just flying over the living room and I timed it. It was like 12 minutes, I think.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
But I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was just hovering, just flying around the living room. Wasn't in expert mode either.
Yeah, there at that end, I switched it to expert mode, and I couldn't tell much of a difference, but that was towards the end of the battery life.
You know, you can actually somehow, I was reading in the manual, you can adjust the sensitivity in expert mode if you want to make it more sensitive and give it more throttle.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool because it only goes to 90%, I think, is what they said in expert mode.
So do
really?
people take like giant rooms, like warehouses or auditoriums or something, and then set up like hula hoops and shit that you have to fly through?
Oh, that would be
Yep.
That would be fun.
That'd be so cool.
Gymnasiums are done like that a lot.
Have an obstacle course, RC obstacle course.
Yeah,
Well, that's
they
like
also
that,
set up, kind of think of like mixed martial arts. They set up a ring, that's all surrounded by just soft netting, and the idea is to force the other copter out of flight by not hitting it
Yeah, just with your wash.
with your washer. Yep, exactly.
That's pretty
I
awesome.
would think that. Do they have like laser tag in them so that they could just shoot a laser at the other one and it hits it? Like
That
knocks
would
the
be
flames off or something?
Awesome.
Or
They
we
don't
pull
have
up
anything. They don't even have anything like that.
Or something.
Kind of had that like laser tag. That'd be kind of cool.
You can
Well, I
do
had a
like
car one time back in, oh, it was a while ago now. Well, I didn't have them. I bought them and resold them, but I think they looked like a Corvette. Anyway, the remote control had a TV in it, and then you would drive around, and there was a camera sticking out the grill, and you would buy more than one, and they had, I forget how many channels, but that's what the whole point was. You'd run around with this remote control car, zapping the other cars, and they had like a sensor on each side, so it was like laser tag except with cars, and you didn't have to be anywhere near the cars because you were looking through the camera. So I would think with a three-dimensional, that'd be way better.
They have that for the quads too.
but then you'd have PETA, there'd be like copter fighting, and then it would just get horrible.
They do that in RC where they actually hang long streamers off the back of the planes. And, whoever comes back with the shortest streamer is the loser.
Is
If
that
you
why
actually
everyone's
manage
always
to...
wearing streamers?
Yeah, I don't think the quads, I don't think the props from the quads could handle the streamers.
No.
You have
Talking
some,
about the RC planes, yeah.
you have some PETA extremists splash you in the face with a cup of hydraulic fluid. It would just get ugly.
Let's see.
You take like a 60 size engine and you put it on a 20 size plane. That's all you basically these dog fights.
And there's two types of quads. There's one that uses fixed rotors, and another one uses variable rotors.
So
those
the
are the
video
ones.
that
their
Ralph-
like pitch, or they're like how much
Yeah.
grab they're getting, or how much they can lift.
Yes, you could pitch it. So this one I saw, it's all four of the props is running off one motor, and all the flips and stuff and how fast and everything went. He adjusted the angle of the props, just like a helicopter.
Exactly like a helicopter. It's a helicopter with four
No.
props.
The video that Ralph just put in the external, that thing's awesome. So helicopter, like, doing all these crazy tricks. It's very good pilot.
Oh, helicopters? Yeah.
Yeah, look at that link right there. That's
So
pretty
do they
awesome.
have competitions, or do people try to mod these things out to see how much weight they can get them to carry? Because that'd be it'd be fun to carry one around, but the ultimate goal would be how much weight you get it to carry around, right?
Well, I know with the palm size quads, they actually carry around like a little keychain camera. It's not a whole lot of extra weight, but it does tax both the motors and the battery.
More motors mean they're better.
Not necessarily.
More props, I guess.
No.
More props usually means that they could handle more weight and or smoother.
Has anybody tried one with like dozens and dozens of tiny little fans, or does it need to have big ones?
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
If I enlarge it, does that make it better?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one that has one single rotor. No, not one rotor, but one motor, and it's variable pitch props. So he's flying every which way. And I'll put a link in this in the side chat and in gun channels. But he's just going crazy.
Whoa, that is pretty
Yeah.
insane. Let's just look at a helicopter video. as well.
Yeah, he's upside down though.
Hey, G-Webs, check out that link in internal that somebody posted in the chat. I posted internal there. Tell me what you think.
So yeah, and a lot of these you could do a first-person viewer, and they have goggles and everything like that, so you could whatever the camera's seeing is what you're seeing, and they have instrument panels and everything like that on them too. So I'll go ahead. And,
I don't know if I'd be that brave to fly it without a blade protector or something. I guess when you're that good.
yeah, he does that for pretty much a living.
Yeah, and he's
So-
probably has plenty of spare parts.
Well, I mean, yeah, he built his own. So,
By the
yeah,
way,
just take-
posting the external too.
yeah, I posted that video in the external, and here's
No, the link I put there for the The Nano QX 3D.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's oh, the props are upside down.
Yep.
They're a pusher instead. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool.
I haven't done any reviews on this.
I mean,
But the nice thing about the Blade products, I've got their helicopters, is that you can get parts for them.
yeah, because you will break stuff.
Yes. Sadly, 2 of my 3 helicopters are no longer made by them, so they're made, they're discontinued models, but thankfully I'll be able to get parts for most of them still for quite a while.
That's one good thing about these. You could buy anything and everything, and it doesn't cost that much. I mean, the quad was, what, $60 shipped? So.
Dang, the motor on that one that just has one motor isn't all that really big, really.
It's not that big, no. It's just everything's attached to it with basically rubber bands.
Yeah, pulleys.
So if you would hit the ground, you'd stress out that rubber band. You won't stress out your prop.
Oh, I see what you're saying. How much does that one cost there? Do they say?
I went to the website, and I think it was like $700, I think.
It's just for stunt flying, though. It's not like it's for
No,
carrying a camera or anything.
You could carry a camera on it. You'd have to put in a little bit more electronics, but yeah, you could definitely carry a camera.
Because if it could take a camera all kinds of crazy ways that a helicopter can't, that'd be kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Or am I misunderstanding? It can hover like in weird directions, or it's just that it's super fast so it can flip and stuff?
No, it can hover in all weird directions and anything. And there's another one that's commonly called a Phantom. That's what a lot of people do use for aerial photography.
Oh, they already put a camera on it.
By the way, G-Webs, I'm going to post this in the external as well. Here's what you need to get if you really want nice pictures.
So the DJI Phantom?
Yes, that's what I was going to... the all decked out one's about $1,300, but you could probably do a 700 one and build one with a better camera.
The DJI?
How much is that one, Edge?
Yeah.
Or how much is that one?
$1,000.
Oh, no, I ain't got
The
$1,000 for that.
DJI Phantom, isn't it like $300 or $400? I thought for the drone.
That's without any mounts or anything, and without any connections for a camera.
Yeah, because most people I've seen, they have a GoPro on them.
Yeah, okay, that
All the stuff for it.
350 is cool as well. I saw something on that
There's
today.
an ad for this. I'm watching that video now, and there's an ad for some yellow-looking one that's only $500. That looks like it's designed to be. You have like your iPad in it, I guess, to see what it's what to look at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, this is the whole thing. It's all ready to go. You got your...
It's got camera and everything.
Yeah.
So basically, you pull it out of the box, you charge your battery, you're flying without anything. I mean, a lot of people take and get their motors, get their servos, build their own platform, and do all the wiring themselves. But that's a little way over my head, and I don't want to do that.
But this is, this is a true drone.
Yes. Yeah, on that 350 and on the Phantom, you can actually go on and say, okay, go to this waypoint at this many feet, go to this one at this many feet, and you hit a button and it'll take off and it'll go, and you can sit there and just control your camera and take video. So
They're super cool like that.
do they end up showing the view from the camera? Oh, okay.
I actually haven't watched a video on that yet.
On that 300X or whatever, or 350X.
Yeah. I've just been reading about it and like all the stuff I can do. I'm like, I think I need a degree.
Yeah, that 300X in expert mode, it can like do flips and stuff, but it's not the software doing flips. It's actually you doing flips. But yet, then you can put it in its safe mode, and you can carry cameras, and it's as stable as the Phantom 2.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me watch this video.
I'm looking at cliff diving one in Italy with a Phantom 2, but I want to see how good the video image is. Yeah.
I don't know what kind of camera these things have on them, on the 350 QX3. The one that comes with it. It doesn't say, like, I'm assuming it's pretty good quality.
This is a, what I just put in the internal and in gun channels. It is a GoPro on a DJI Phantom. So
Yeah,
it's a
that's-
GoPro.
There's some really good footage of somebody with a DJI in the GoPro, like in Los Angeles or somewhere. They're flying over the city, and like they go up to a rooftop, and someone's having like a rooftop party and stuff, and they like fly over the pool. It's pretty neat.
This one's kind of cliff diving. It's kind of cool.
I have to watch it.
Well,
Oh wow, this is nice.
In that video that they posted there, G-Webs, at about the 2-minute mark, you can see how stable the image is because they're actually, aiming it back at them while they move the joystick, and you can see how stable the image is. They do a picture-in-picture.
I'm watching that one red one where it only has one motor still.
Oh,
or he's flipping everything. Yeah, that's. Yeah, these are quite awesome. I mean, just what they could do is just it's crazy. And really, I mean, it's entry level. It's under $1,000. I know that's a lot of people say, "Oh my God, that's not entry level," but for what it does, I mean, $1,000 for a chopper or a radio-controlled airplane, you'll probably crash it in the first 5 minutes. Isn't that about right, Quark?
if you don't have any practice, I mean, you start out with an instructor and.
But with like this Phantom that I've been seeing, people are like, "Oh yeah, I have no experience in here, just up and flying." Because
Right.
let's say you get in trouble, all you have to do is turn off your transmitter, and it knows where it took off from, and it'll come home and it'll land for you.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, it has a GPS thing on it.
Yep.
Yeah, there are some that are like that, but then there are others that are just purely 3D. They're acrobats, and you can, end up wasting $1,000 on one of those in one crash.
That's very true.
So it all depends on which kind you get and which ones you get. Like
That 300X that you showed us, that you sent the link to, that one in its safe mode is kind of like the Phantom, but in its advanced mode, you can do flips and be all acrobatic and stuff with it. So
Yep.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, well, Blade has what they call the safe technology. It's basically we'll just return to hover mode.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so the one with the cliff diving, I guess some of it was handheld footage, like them
Yeah.
jumping in the water. Because I was like, wait a second,
Yeah.
they can't go underwater.
Well, I mean, with a GoPro, I bet you they could land or
Oh yeah, I don't know if the quad rotor. I don't know if it floats though.
no.
That would be cool if you could land like where it would float on the water and the camera would
Hey.
still be
Submerged.
so you can see everything.
That would be cool.
Then you
That would be a steady hand.
Then it'd float by itself. You just land it on the water and it floats, and then you could like putt around and like you get some awesome underwater footage like that too.
I'm gonna say they make boats that do that for you already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could do remote, like you could,
But then you could take off.
Yeah, exactly. You can do all kinds of go from land, water, land, sea, and air, right?
So, just a little bit more than a hovercraft.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a really good one. It's the Phantom. It doesn't say what camera. But here's in the internal, and here is in gun channels.
Oh, it's not very big. Oh, that's his remote control. Never mind. I was about to say, I thought the DJI was bigger than that.
No, DJI is about that big, maybe.
Yeah, they're about 3 feet maybe overall.
End of prop, probably.
Yeah. That's something. That'd probably be the cheapest way to get into it and still get good footage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one I'm getting next.
Yeah, after I master this thing, I may save up.
Oh, I put the
Don't
link in
answer
the journal. It's
Oh.
I put it on the external.
You thought you were talking about the
Oh,
DJI.
okay. Yeah, I thought he was talking about DJI.
No, jeez. I would get the 500 first person, first viewer. If I were going that advanced, with the headset, it's like $500. It's the same one. It's a Nano.
Oh, it's so it's basically like this size, but it's first person.
Yep, with a headset.
See, if I'd want to spend $500, I'd want to put a camera and get footage of something, and then you could also use that same camera as your headset and fly it.
Well, that's how the DJI works, right? With the GoPro,
Yes.
you
Yes,
watch
it
the
is.
GoPro while it records.
Yep.
That's really what you're paying for, I guess, when you pay for the software and everything hooked up, is that so that we can have that capability to record and let you see the footage live.
I'm looking right now if they actually, because you're viewing it, with a camera. So I'm sure there's got to be, an SD card or micro SD card that records it as well.
Well, why would you get that one, Corky? It's just the same size as the one you have now. Pretty much. Isn't it?
It's
Oh, no, mine's a lot bigger. Weighs 58 ounces. No, 0.58 ounces, never mind.
it's actually lighter.
It's small, never mind.
No, it's actually what it is. It's lighter and more aerobatic.
Okay.
I've already got the remote for it.
Recommended environment, indoors.
Yeah, a
Good
lot
flying
of small
over.
ones are for indoors only.
I think the Hubsan ones were supposed to be, they say fly.
Any drone can be flown outside if it's not too windy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Example, I got this little micro, I call it micro helicopter blade, MC, I think it's MCR, but it's a tiny little flybar helicopter. Not flybar less, but flybar that I can fly outside. But if the wind gets anything above 5 miles an hour, I'm going basically straight in the wind and not moving an inch.
Yep.
Yep, that's what mine is too. It's like, no, windy, forget it. Yeah, but if I was going to get one for camera support, it'd probably be the DJI, the GoPro or something. Because then you can always take the GoPro off too and use it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh yeah, you can do that as well.
So it's like you already have GoPro camera for everything else. Like just buy the aircraft and you're ready.
Well, there's the aircraft, and then you could have the just rubber mounts, and there's also a stabilizer. They'll keep everything nice and level for you.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I showed you guys my remote that I have, my Spectrum DX6i. There we go. Which works with all the Blade stuff anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how one controller will work for many different types of aircraft.
I think I can store up to eight different settings on this for different, airplanes, helicopters, whatever. It just will not, which sucks, which I wish, some of these places would go to. Just let it frickin' bind with the remote you already have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if
That's
you
why
want to build your own.
I'm not a huge fan. I hate that. Actually, I hate the controller for. That's the one thing I don't like. It's the controller for that. Whatever it is, the Hubsan.
Oh, you don't like this one?
I thought it was pretty easy to use.
Oh,
It's easy to use, but it's so freaking cheap. I'm afraid I'm gonna snap off one of the joysticks by accident.
Yeah, they're not aluminum or anything. It's all plastic.
Yeah, but still, I mean, to me, it feels like a PlayStation controller.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. It's got its pluses compared to other bladed aircraft in that price range. You come with a controller.
I like how easy it is to adjust the trim and all that.
Yeah, just right next to
Right
it.
on the fly when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
You just land, adjust it, keep going.
Yeah.
All right, I'll plug mine because I was going to do the flight sim, but
Yeah, mine's back on the charger. I may get another flight or two in tonight. But I'm getting 5 batteries on the 3rd, so then I don't know when my charger's going to come in because it's coming in from Hong Kong. I didn't realize that.
probably in the next 3 or 4 years.
Something like that.
It's kind of close as compared to other. Hi, Dano.
Someone has the chat on.
Dano. Oh boy, you can see the very top of my head. But pardon the chewed antenna, Phobos decided that it was great to chew on it for some reason. But we'll see if I can get that in here. You see these trims?
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
See what kind of response you have here? You don't have that with the Nano. Or the Hubsan Nano.
It clicks every time you hit it.
Yeah.
Well, these kind of click.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These click too. Yeah, the ones from the
Click.
You don't hear it though. You can kind of feel it. This you feel it.
I could hear it on
Well,
mine.
the remote beeps too every time you click it. It goes beep beep beep. Every time you adjust it.
No, it doesn't. It only beeps when you go down a full level.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Remember.
You can do increments.
Are you sure? I can't remember.
I'm on a brand new computer tonight. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me know if it's either too loud, too soft, or if you get feedback.
You're just fine.
What kind of computer?
It's a HP Pavilion.
Nice.
As of
Desktop.
last night, I had a laptop, Vista, and I got this giant chunk of, it looked like dryer lint out of the exhaust port from the fan. But there was two of these, the tiniest little ribbon cables I have ever seen in my life. And as gentle as I was, somehow I wasn't gentle enough. And I cracked the little plastic clamp that held the ribbon cable in place.
For what, the fans?
No, for coming off the system board. Because yeah,
Oh.
on my laptop I had to disassemble it to that level to get access to the fans. I mean, otherwise you're just blowing it right back into the fan, which blows it back into the CPU. Anyway, make a long story short, I now have a new computer, just that it's not a laptop.
Oh, a regular old-fashioned kind of computer?
Yeah, because I did kind of a little cost analysis today to try to figure out, other than portability, for the, regardless of what price point you pick, can you get a little bit more performance, or is it more the same, like a teeter-totter between a laptop and an old-fashioned, mid-tower?
I go with the mid-tower. I mean, I really don't take my laptop anywhere, so the only computer I own is my tower. I mean, I have one for work. It's a laptop, but I just stick with towers.
Well, I ended up with the mid tower based off of the cost versus performance issue. I mean, I got 2 terabytes of storage, which I could have gotten 750 gigs on a comparable laptop for the exact same price.
Right. We knew it was going to come down to how much porn it could store.
I'm sorry, what?
It always comes down to how much porn you can store on it.
Well,
there's always external hard drives, terabyte hard drives for like $50 nowadays. So.
True. It just also the processor was a little bit more, came with more RAM, and I've noticed a lot of the less than high-end laptops do not come with what I'm going to use the term user upgradable RAM. They used to have like a little panel on the back side. You could unscrew yourself to get direct access to the SIM chips, and, to upgrade your RAM on your laptop. You have to remove the entire backing now to get at that. There's no quick access to get back there.
Wait, today's only Thursday, right?
Yep.
Crap. I thought it was Friday for a second.
It felt like Friday all day to me, too.
Oh, well. Just one more day at work then.
Yeah, I took Sandy's suggestion last night, and I watched a 15-minute video on how to take my make and model of laptop apart, which I followed to the letter. It's just that, there are some things you can't always take into account. I mean, when things get old, especially wires, they have a tendency to get very brittle, and the smaller it is, you just start raising the likelihood that something's going to go wrong.
You should have known because of the video was sponsored by HP.
No, I guess so.
If your computer is 5 years old, you really need to do this. Oh, since you're going to break your computer, you need to buy this.
Just pull on that. It's good. If it's a little tight, that's fine. Just pull harder.
If you break that solder, don't worry about it.
Oh, if something happened along the way, we do have coupon code SUCKER.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Exactly. And I spelled it out. Just Dano is how I spelled it.
Hey, guys.
Oh, jeez. Canada's here.
Why does everybody say that when I join a chat? I don't get it. Every time I join a chat, somebody says, "Oh, jeez." Holy! I must have
just because you're so fun to pick on
and from Canada.
and you're from Canada.
Yeah, there you go.
Bob, do you think it's a subliminal message?
Dano, I hardly even listen to you anymore. So, like, when you talk, you ever see Charlie Brown cartoons when the adults talk? That's what you sound like to me.
Hey, well, one good thing about this FCC.
Who was just asking about why he doesn't get a warm reception?
the one good thing about this FCC, maybe they'll cut off the internet up in Canada.
Oh, fuck that noise, man.
It's true. Think about how much
Haven't
internet
been down here.
bandwidths they're
Down
stealing.
in Arizona, right next to G-Webs. Be right in that area, man. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be warm. I won't have to shovel snow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Robbie
And
on
there's
Gun
gun
Channel.
ranges.
Robbie on Gun Channels is saying the net neutrality is jacking up his YouTube feed.
Oh, by the way, tonight I'm impersonating Moon.
Are you? So are you going to start ranting?
Well, my
Oh,
little
no, actually, you
my little
actually rant
setup.
quite a bit anyway.
He has a knife
Oh,
out.
you're just going to be... Oh, you're going to be touching your knife. Oh, that's kind of creepy.
Better than touching everything else that he usually touches.
Okay, that's even creepier.
What are you doing looking in my window?
I got a drone now. They'll do it for me.
We need to have a picture of Dano eating popsicles and you looking in through his window behind him.
Right now,
No, I'm not Stone Guy.
Oh, God, that's the best, man. That just cracked me up.
Did you see that? That was Stone Guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
Stone
image
Guy
is
behind Chris.
hilarious,
Chris eating
yeah.
popsicles, man. I damn near peed myself when I saw that. Yeah. Oh, there's some great stuff comes out of these chats as far as for humor. Stone Guy's feet as he snores away on the floor. He was stretching his back. Me as I snore away in my chair while the cats come up to see if I'm still alive and whether it's ready, it's okay to eat me yet. Who else passed out? Oh yeah, Edge passed out. Oh,
Bob,
and
something
else.
tells me you're always going to be sour.
Hmm? You know what?
I walk on that.
My meat should be pretty much pickled. I'm pretty sure my internal organs, some of them should just last forever because they're pretty much pickled. You think of my liver, it
Pickled
must just be, this pickled.
No, you mean it's fermented?
No, it's probably pickled. Just had so much alcohol go through it. I mean, it's just like,
Exactly. It's fermented.
Oh, fermented. I don't know. Fermented. I don't know if that's the right word for it.
You drank so much, it's basically alcohol.
Yeah, I bet. If something ate my liver, it would probably get drunk. Actually, I'm not even sure my liver even accepts alcohol anymore. It might just put it right through me because I don't really get drunk anymore.
It has
It
nothing
takes
to do with that.
No, it takes 24 beer before I'll start to stagger.
Wow.
So, yeah, and that's a lot of beer. I mean,
You are
got to pee
truly
like 4 or 5 times. But that's why I'm saying I think it's just going right through me because I'm
So
not.
I'm just reading about this terrorist gun loophole thing that Feinstein claims is a loophole about the denying it firearms and explosives to dangerous terrorists.
You know,
Pretty
the funny
crazy.
thing is, most of the time when they catch them, it's because the Leos pretend to offer these people explosives. Oh, we can get you some explosives. You want some explosives? We'll get you some. And they
Right.
go, oh, yes, I want explosives. And then next thing you know, they're getting busted. Oh, we broke a big terror
Well,
network.
Well, this article says, the bill gives the Attorney General discretion to deny the transfer of a firearm if he or she determines that the transferee is known or appropriately suspected to be or have been engaged in conduct constituting in preparation for, in aid of, or related to terrorism, or providing material support or resources for terrorism.
So,
It could be anything.
Preparation of?
yeah. So that's anybody who owns a firearm to the
Or
government.
appropriately
Well-
suspected. What does appropriately suspected mean?
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
So-
what I call
They're like, oh,
If you're
if you own a
big-
firearm, okay, you're appropriately
Yeah, if you're beige and a Muslim, you're in trouble.
Well, not even that, just any red-blooded American that says, hey, I want to own one just because. They're like, oh, you're going to... That's stupid.
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't have fertilizer. You might turn that into a bomb. But I'm a farmer. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens all the time. That's why we don't have food anymore.
Is Feinstein almost dead?
Oh, I know it. Like after that big bomb went off, that big bomb, those idiots, white whatever they were, militiamen or whatever, that they blew that big bomb up and blew the building up. It got so hard to get like pure, how was it? Ammonia fertilizer. Like you used to be able to get stuff that was just that, right? It had nothing else in it, and it was really good to green up your lawn. And then all of a sudden you couldn't get it anymore because they just kind of quit producing it because it was too easy to turn into a bomb by mixing it with diesel fuel, you know? What? Diesel fuel's a bomb. Gas is a bomb. Like, what the hell?
Damn on ammonium nitrate.
Yeah.
Heck, almost anything with diesel's a bomb.
Yeah. Neat thing with diesel is that though you can throw a match in it, it won't light up. It needs to get very energetic and pressurized. But regardless, we shouldn't talk about bombs. Why are we watching Quark just fly his toy helicopter and not even a real one? We should watch him crash the real one and spend all that money replacing propellers. It'd be way more fun.
Well, he doesn't have a real one yet.
Oh,
I do have real helicopters.
Well, are you actually on a helicopter now?
You want to pay the shipping
Fake
for
ones.
to this little one, and well, it's not that little, but it's, you know, old technology, and you can like crash it. I've flown it, and it flies good. It's a little squirrely because there's no gyros, so you actually have to fly it. But it's, you know, the dual contra rotating props and stuff, so it's pretty easy to fly. As long as you make a video of you crashing it, that's all I want to see. It'll be funny.
I'm okay when I'm in the air. It's
yeah.
a landing that I can't do.
And that's kind of like real life. I mean, I've done that. Like takeoff is easy, flying around is easy. It's the landing. And you know what the biggest part of the landing is? Is putting the windshield full of dirt. You know? Like having to actually look at the ground, you know, as you're zooming towards, that's the hardest part.
Yep.
You just don't want to do that. You just naturally don't want to see dirt in front of you as when you're in the air.
First, I need to learn how to hover.
Oh, that's the hardest part. Did you actually Buffalo Air? I don't know if you guys watch that, but it's about the last company that's flying a scheduled flight with a DC-3 that actually dropped troopers on D-Day.
Yep, I've seen it several times.
Yeah, well, they had one tonight where for the Joe's old, you know, the old man, for his birthday, his son got him a helicopter lesson, which he's never flown. And it was amazing. This guy just, you know, he's like 70 years old. He just flew this, like, he wasn't perfect, but he got so good. I mean, the instructor was just like, couldn't believe it. Like, he could hover, you know, so quickly. When most people, they hover like Quark. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
trying to hover. I have one spot. I can't even do that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Is this guy, like, you know, in a real helicopter, who'd never flown one before, but he had, like, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of hours in DC-3s and small planes and water bombers and everything else, right?
That helps you.
Actually, they say it doesn't. It says pilots and helicopter pilots, like plane fixed wing pilots and helicopter pilots, it's just two different bicycles. Yeah. Well, because helicopter pilots, you have you all your hands and your feet are in action all the time. Whereas with a pilot, you really, I mean, once you're in the air, it's just you're flying on the stick. Because your throttle, you have your throttle, and then, you know, like with your left hand, you control the throttle. I guess it depends. No, it's your left hand. You control the throttle and your blade pitch, which makes you go up and down. And with your stick, all you control is forward, back, left, right. But your rudder pedals control which way the aircraft points. So it's, and you got to balance, and every time you change anything, like your blade angle to get more lift, it changes everything else. You've got to change all your other sticks. It's just a, yeah, it's you got to be able to chew bubble gum and run downstairs at the same time, as well as juggle. You know, like seriously, it's that complicated. I've tried to do it, and it's fucking hard. And I've flown little planes. I don't have my pilot's license, but I got, you know, 40 or 50 hours training, and then another 30 or 40, maybe 50 hours just taking the stick up north. You know, I used to fly up in the Arctic all the time, and up there it was like with the bush pilots, I'd always want to sit in the co-pilot seat if we were in a plane that actually had a co-pilot seat, and and yeah, the pilots would always go, "Oh, you like planes? Here, take the stick," because then that would mean they could like sit back and go, ah. Because a lot of the old Beavers and stuff didn't have autopilots and stuff. It was, you flew it all the time.
Yeah, this is the little helicopter I actually have. I'll pull it off the shelf here in a minute.
Yeah.
Now, what quads and stuff can you fly in there? Is it just the Phantom, or are there more than just one?
I think there's only 4 or 5.
Yeah, but the quads are supposed to be really easy to fly, though. They have gyros and everything else. It's just like, you know, you pull the stick back, it goes up. You know, push forward, it goes forward. Compensates itself.
Well, stuff for
thrust and stuff.
It can. Some of these small ones don't. But.
All right. Let's see. What quads do we have? Multi-rotor.
I would like to see the big thing now here anyway is they're doing first-person planes, right? So they fly off a screen. It's almost like you're sitting in an airplane, but it's just a little camera in the, you know, where the cockpit would be, or in the nose or something. These guys are taking these electric airplanes up to huge heights. Like, I'm talking like 40,000 feet. And then, you know, they'll just point the glider down. They're the gliders, basically, and they'll just point them down. And they'll get this great video, you know, of the whole. Yeah, and you can actually, like, there's some I've seen. I swear you can see the curvature of the Earth. I mean, they're taking these things uber high. And the nice thing about electrics, right? Try to do that with gas. Well, you can't, because the altitude gets too high. Electrics, and with the new electrics and everything, they run for like 2 hours. So you can get these things to just humongous heights. Just amazing.
This is what's called the advanced quad.
See, I don't like that. I want to fly. I mean, that's the big thing, is what I like about these first-person views, is you put a set of goggles on, and then you're looking out the airplane's cockpit. That's the way I want to fly. You know, not this, I'm watching it up in the air.
You could do that for $500. That's probably like 20 grand Canadian.
Yeah. Well, I already have the airplane, so. Yeah, my big glider, I've had it up in the air for 6-7 hours, just on a 30-year-old electric drill motor and battery pack. Because once you get it up there, you can just keep it up on the thermals, eh? But that's sitting down there watching it, circle above me. So I'm pretty sure if I...
You guys see my screen share?
I don't know, which one is it? Apple Campus 2 construction video?
Yeah.
I just clicked on you.
Well, I'm actually doing it as a test of my new system. It's on a subject that you guys are kind of touching on anyway.
That's kind of neat, Dano.
I just wanted to see how the playback was to you guys.
That's pretty good. I mean, it just basically looks like a YouTube page when you're talking.
I mean, it's moving very slowly because that campus is so big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I've seen that video before. That's cool.
No, that's actually pretty neat, and that's the thing we can do now with these copters and this microelectronics. It all comes down to how small electronics are getting. Because we could have done the same thing, and we actually are doing the same thing. 20 years ago, those were called the Predators, right? I mean, they could take these kind of pictures. Well, not Predators, but well, the early ones that weren't armed. But it cost. What do those things cost? $250,000 a pop without electronics, just the basic airframe and motor. And here people are taking the same kind of pictures, and they're doing it for $500.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and that's the difference between 15, 20 years. You know what I mean?
No, Bob, I don't know what you mean. But don't stop on my account.
Yeah, no, Dano, I was gonna explain it, and then you just made me realize there's no sense in it, because it is just one of those things that everybody is obvious to everybody, and I shouldn't be trying to explain it to people.
Well, I mean, when you started talking about being a bush pilot, I mean.
No, I wasn't a bush pilot. I was a passenger, but because I was taking flying lessons at the time. I have about 50 hours in my logbook, but not enough to get, because I take 10 hours and then don't fly again for 3 years.
I've been on a nuclear submarine and been out to sea. I do not consider myself a submariner.
I don't consider myself a bush pilot. I just consider myself that I've flown with bush pilots, because I flew up there all the time, right? And yeah, those guys.
You say right as if we know every detail of your history. So.
I don't see the point you're making now, but anyway.
The point is, I don't know every facet of your life.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you listen to him talk long enough,
we're not even dating, Dano, so I really think you probably shouldn't know every facet of my life.
All right, Bob, here you go.
Oh, wait, I thought you put me in a doghouse.
No, seriously, there's my little MSR. There we go. Blade MSR. Little single prop, which difficult to fly inside. My little coaxial. MCRX2. Lots and lots of fun to fly this around.
Yeah.
And then this one you're going to really appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
Those are fixed rotors, right?
Yes. These are coaxial, so they're super easy to fly. Well, look what it says there, Bob.
I know, Canadian Search and Rescue. That was one of our big search and rescue aircraft for a while. Yeah. Now we replace them with brand new models.
Yeah, this is out of production. You can't get these
but
anymore.
I mean, they're going to end up doing that because our search and rescue helicopters are like too old.
Yep, I only have batteries to fly this. That's what sucks. The batteries for these two other little ones have died on me. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's you know what? You can you can fix those, right? There's videos on how to fix those batteries. You got to shock them.
I went through that effort and I blew up one. I'm like, not gonna try that again.
What were you trying to shock it with?
12 volt?
No. You can't shock it with 12 volt. You have to shock it with like way more than 12 volt. Like a
That's all I have is 12 volt.
Well,
that's what everybody was telling me to use. Well, not everybody was telling me. When I was reading about, they're using a 12 volt car battery.
like you should have asked me, and I would have told you, no, you need way more amperage to shock them.
Yeah, I
But
don't
you
want
can
12
actually,
volt car
you know,
battery.
you can go and find those batteries, right, and rewire those battery packs.
Oh, they're just one cell lithium polymer.
Yeah, you can buy those batteries.
I know I can buy the batteries. I just wanted to see if I could do it, just so I could fly these around for a little bit.
Yeah.
They're not that expensive. I think 8 is like $35 or something.
And if you got more than one helicopter uses them, why not? Yeah,
Exactly.
my batteries are all still good. I hardly use. This one's funny, because that one I was showing you, because it's got little missiles on the side that if you turn them on, they light up and flash.
I missed you showing it to me because I was flying the flight sim.
Oh well, that's too
Did you
bad.
show them?
So
Do you want a dancing robot too that stands about 14 inches tall?
No.
No, my son gave me his.
What's
I
up,
don't know
Caleb?
what I'm gonna do. He said you like robotics and stuff here, and I was like, what? And it's like there's no.
Bob told us
instructions
about this
manual.
yesterday. He told us all about this yesterday.
He was
Did I?
drunk then.
Well, I'm drunk today too.
So if you have ARs fused, why aren't you shooting 2-gun or something like that, or 3-gun if you have a shotgun?
Because the closest 3 guns about 5 hours away.
Mm.
It's not too bad. I know
Alright.
people who went like 7-8 hours plus to go.
Yeah.
If it's
There's
a
a
big
guy
match,
who's
it's worth
doing
going.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
there's
that's like the
organized
small local
sports.
ones.
Oh really? It's not like a big match. We have like 200 something shooters show up or something like that.
No,
Yeah. 'Cause if you
no,
have some of the
three
bigger
gun
ones,
isn't big here.
like even some of the bigger outlaw matches, people will drive because they'll be like several $1,000s worth of stuff on the prize table, and people will drive to go shoot. You get a chance
Yeah,
to win something off of it.
Go
So what
on.
kind of optics do you have on yours?
I don't have any optics on mine. Not quite sure what I want. I'm thinking about taking a rifle class later this year, and then seeing what people have there, and then figuring out what optic I want.
I'm thinking about getting like a Vortex 1x4 for 3-gun because the practical, the class I'm going to division I'm going to be shooting is one magnified optic, one
Well,
non.
When we started talking about this, I had that Burris 1x4.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up selling them. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just I realized that I didn't need magnified optics for my area, because for me, 300 yards is about as far as I'm be shooting, and I could see that far. So
That's why I kind of like the Vortex because it's one power, so you can go down to pretty much no magnification.
that's how this was. It was 1.4.
And I think that'll be plenty fun enough, good enough for most 3-gun stuff around here. The only limit for target distance in 3-gun, from what I've heard, is space pretty much. And if they want to put a target that far, so you might go to a 3-gun match and they could be like a steel something or paper target 300 yards or something like that. But it's very rare. Like most of them are like 25 yards to 100 yards.
Yeah, and if they're way out there, it's usually a steel, so you can tell if you hit them.
Right.
I would think.
Oh yeah, it sucks because I shot some of the pistol matches. I shot like paper targets like 35 yards away, and it's like you just hope you hit it.
Yeah.
just slow.
That one classifier, that's 35 yards freestyle, and then 25 yards strong hand. And the next one is 35 yards and then 10 yards weak hand.
Yes, I just shot that one last week.
Yeah, you're like,
Sucks.
where are those hits at?
It's like 6 rounds, right? 6
Yeah,
rounds
six-
before this
6
one.
rounds. Yep.
Then you there's no reloads in it. 6 rounds.
No, it's 6 rounds reload, 6 rounds, and then stop reload, get all your mags ready.
Yeah,
And then 6 rounds reload, and then
weekend. Yeah, that's what it was. There was a mandatory reload in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sucked. Like literally half people at the match on that one, like all of them got zeros on that.
Yeah.
It's like why aren't we? It's like and those classifiers make no sense to me. It's like they're not. I mean, how often do you see that in the stage? You don't. So it's like why do they even have?
Sometimes we've had steel shots at 30 yards.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like what's the point of even having that classifier? It's not doing anybody any good. It's just like a waste of time.
Have you shot the one? It's uh, 4 targets, and they're like it's 3 feet from you. So it's basically a draw, and at the hip, it's 6 rounds, reload 6 rounds, and then you
Wait,
stop.
into 6 rounds into. Wait,
Like-
6 rounds altogether? Two per.
No, it's 6 rounds in the first one, reload, and then 6 rounds.
And
And
there's.
then another string is 6 rounds, reload, 6 rounds, and you go.
So one target has
Much-
12 rounds in it, and 2 targets have
No, it's 4 targets.
4. Okay.
Yeah. So you have basically you have 1 here, 1 here, 1 there, and then 1 over here.
Right.
And you have to start, and you just can't go here, here, and then here, there. You have to go. You have to turn right, and then you have to go over here and turn left. So it's 6 rounds, reload 6 rounds, but it's like 3 feet in front of you. So it's like someone's right on top of you, and you're pulling and you're firing from the hip.
So how is it 12 rounds? I don't understand.
It's 6 rounds, reload 6 rounds, and then you do another. So that's 12 rounds.
Right. Oh.
And then you do
so
another.
it's like 2 arrays with 2 targets.
Yes, it's 2 arrays. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so you shoot, and you do that all in one string?
No, it's 2 strings.
Oh, that's not that bad. That's a really easy classifier.
But it is, but it's
If you as
crazy.
long as you shoot it fast, you probably have to shoot it real fast to get a good score on it.
right. But you're sitting there, you're going so fast. A lot of times you'll put too many or too few.
Oh, is it Virginia count?
Yes.
Oh, see, well then that's when you just that's when you preload your mags. I mean, you still have 1 extra though, 'cause you don't want to go to slide lock.
On your first one, yes, but then you go slide lock on your second, which is fine. But a lot of people won't put.
Not if you get to the line and you put the magazine you put in the gun has 7 rounds, so you chamber it. So you got 6 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. So
Yep.
you shoot 6. You should have 1 left in the chamber when you reload.
And then have 5 in the second mag. Yes, exactly. But a lot of people will take, and as they're pumping rounds on that first one, they'll either pump 5 or put all 7 in there, just because their fingers doing this so much.
Or
So
I would just put 6 and shoot the slide lock. 'Cause I mean,
So a lot common slam
about-
and let it close on itself.
yeah, it probably adds like 0.3 seconds for me to drop the slide on a magazine. Not even like I literally do it simultaneously. Like as soon as I hit that mag click, my thumb's already coming down, and the slide's already down before the gun's back out into straight. You know.
Yeah, you may want to try that.
That'd be a fun
I'm
one.
I'm not sure what it's called, but
I love those little burner stages like that. They're fun.
yeah, you're talking. I think I did my 12 rounds in like 3 seconds.
That's
With the
awesome.
reload. Yeah, and I was still like in the 60 to 70% range.
Oh wow, that's good.
And there's some guys burning through it.
Oh yeah, and the open guns they can do it like in literally 2 seconds probably per array.
Yeah, and then even with a manual reload in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then speaking of burner stages like that, we had one stage at that same match with a long classifier. We had one that was like, let me get a piece of paper to explain it. Here, turn my camera on. So they had like, it was 4 arrays, and the targets. This is the head of the target. They were all sideways, and they were stapled on each other.
mhm.
And there was a hostage in between each one, I think, if I remember correctly. Or no, they were all just stapled like this, end to end. And there was 4 arrays, so it was array here, array here, array here, and right here. And there was a wall in front of you with a port about this big. And so you had to look through the port and shoot all 4. But here's the thing, you couldn't just shoot down the arrays because there was attached to the walls was levels of like where you could only see like this.
Yep.
So it'd be like that, and you gotta shoot on top of this one, then you shoot down and down. And like the farthest floor was like that far away from the ground. There wasn't much room. But that's the one I did really good on. I shot it in like 8 seconds. And it was only 1 round per target. So it was 12 rounds because there's let's see. I think it was 12. Because there's 3 in each array. Yeah, there's 3 in each array, so it was 12 rounds total. And I shot all A's. I shot 1 C. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I don't like the long target stages. There's never fun. They're good practice though.
Let's see if I could find it.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Dana.
Yeah. Well, it was going to be tight. It just I still had enough to make a go of it, and then last night was the end.
Understand that. You guys can't hear that, can you?
Nope.
You guys can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you. Now my plan.
I can hear you, Dana.
So
Yeah, it sucks when that shit happens when your computer blows up because you lose so much shit.
what kind of AR do you have, Fuse?
Home built.
So you guys bought like the barrels and the receivers and.
Let's see, my one receiver is a JRC with a Palmetto State FN barrel with a Palmetto State bolt. And the other one is an Aero Precision barrel and bolt on a...
You must have a lot of gophers in your area.
You have an Aero Precision barrel?
I think so.
You like the Aero Precision barrel? Because when I was looking to buy an upper, I almost thought about getting Aero Precision because the price was pretty decent, but it wasn't much different from the BCM. So the BCM came with a bolt carrier too. So I was looking at getting one of the Aero Precision uppers. It wouldn't have had a bolt carrier, but it already had like a rail on it, like a thin rail, like kind of I would like.
Yeah, I haven't actually shot it. I just got it finished being built last week. So.
Mm-hmm. How does your Palmetto State shoot?
Shoots awesome.
Well, you said it's FN barrel though, right?
Yeah, well, it's FM, yeah.
Well, what are you getting for, like, what are you shooting at for range? And what's your MOA at, like, say, 200 yards, 300 yards, typical gopher range?
It's, right now, I built mine for battlefield accuracy, so it's 3 to 4 MOA, and that is because I'm using my own bullets. I make my own bullets.
Casting
so
your own?
No, I actually swage them from 22 bullets, from 22 shells.
Yeah.
So the bases aren't.
Wait. You're actually putting 22 like empty cartridge cases and making bullets out of them?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I've seen that done for like 20 years ago. I remember reading about that and just thinking, that is such a great idea.
So when you film with lead, you just like film to the top or whatever? Or?
No, you actually make the cores separately, and then you seat the cores into the...
So do you have a special mold for the cores?
Yes.
Did you have to get that like custom made, or do they make them? Like, so you can buy them?
Yeah, they make them.
Oh, that's cool.
This has been around for like 20 years, but I just wonder why more people don't do it. And it's really cool. I see someone who does.
You know, RCBS and Horny both started out swaging. That's what RCBS, Rock Chucker Bullet Swage, is what it's named for.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like the first thing they ever did,
Yep.
press-wise. Wow.
What a great way to reuse 22 rimfire cases.
Yep, and I'm making my projectiles for 1 cent a projectile.
Yeah. Oh, that too, yeah. And they're copper jacketed.
Brass.
Brass jacketed, actually.
So it's a little softer, it's easier on your barrel.
Yep. And big hitting power.
You can, I've made it all the way up to 80 grain projectiles, and as small as 40. So I could fluctuate with whatever.
So what do you do with the rim of the 22? Do you cut it off, or?
No, it started out its life as a cup. So all you do is de-rim them.
So you just have the body of the shell.
Yes, yeah, the body.
And how long does it take you to do one?
One? Well, you don't do all of them.
Well, you do step by step, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I could do 1,000 in about 16 hours. But that's
just
doing one at a time.
Yeah.
But the thing is there's like 13 steps. But you could be making your molds, your cores, at the same time as you're annealing and cleaning your brass. So that could be done at the same time. And then basically you derim your brass, make your cores,
Yeah.
and then you seat the cores into the brass, and then you pinch the nose of your bullets because they're all either hollow points or lead tipped. And then you just make your nose and do a final sizing.
See, and that is, I've always thought that was the ultimate of reloading, was to be able to make those brass jacketed shells. Make
Yeah,
a
there's
real
The
hunting
dies
round.
are about $600, but I bought it right before Sandy Hook. So and I just started picking up, brass 22 cases, cleaning them up, and I rarely shoot anything else but that.
Yeah.
And how accurate are they at 100 yards?
I'm getting about 4 MOA.
So 4 inches?
Yeah.
I would think they'd be more accurate than that, though. I mean,
Well, you have to think whenever the primer is struck, whenever you derim them, you have some rounds still have that. So you're not getting, of course, then your base is the last thing that touches your barrel, so you get some offshoot of that. But I mean, a lot of times I'll get better than.
Yeah, 4 inches at 100 yards. I mean,
That's with open sights too.
yeah,
So
and that's like 100 yards is pretty much maximum for overshooting anyway. And 4 inches if they're laying down or some of the big ones are standing up. I mean, yeah, easily. There's gophers that are like 12 inches tall when they stand up.
you should get someone to shoot them through like a scope gun off a
4
rest.
inches wide.
a buddy of mine shot him out of his 22-250.
How they do through it?
He got about 2 MOA, but we were using I think we were using 60 or 62 grains projectiles.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
I know a guy who makes 45 projectiles out of 40 cases.
Yep, same thing, same concept.
Yep.
And you can make 40s out of 9s.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat. Not
If
that
the
I
dies
have
weren't
40.
so expensive, I'm sure I would eventually like mess around with it just for fun.
What is it about the die that makes it so expensive?
They're just custom.
They're custom, yeah.
Yeah, they're not commercially produced. It's like you gotta,
Oh, okay.
and there's not just like 1 or 2 of them. I'm pretty sure it's like 4 or 5.
I have
Yeah, for 223 though, it's been
Yeah,
it's been
there's a lot of
for
them.
years and years because of course a 223 brass is the brass that you use to make the 223s with is rimfire, so nobody wants to pick it up, right?
Right.
Whereas like 40 they might pick it up, anything else they'll pick up, right? If it's brass.
Yeah, so the dies really aren't that expensive though, because if you think about it, it's only like $100 for a die, which isn't really that high for a custom die.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you gotta buy the whole set, that's why it's so expensive.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but think about it though. Like, what are you going to be able to make your 223 rounds for? And this is like scrap. You're making your bullets out of scrap.
Yeah, but I almost wonder if you could get better results casting straight 223 bullet coating,
No,
gas check.
actually, no. It comes the barrels up of. Well, at any
Well,
time
you'd have to gas check, and you'd have to do.
No, I have to,
A buddy of mine is starting to do that, and he says it does let his barrels up quite a bit. But
Does he coat his bullets
yeah,
with powder coat? He still gets
Because-
the lead?
That's a
yeah,
pain
because
in the ass.
because he's pushing his he's trying to push him as fast as a regular bullet.
Yeah. I know people. They're real popular for 300 blackout. You can coat them
Because that moves a lot slower.
slower. Yes, I'm saying that's what's good about them.
But it's also, I mean, that it does add an extra step to making a bullet, just like putting the brass case on it does. I would rather put the brass case on it than do powder coating. I mean, powder coating just, is it easier? I don't know. Maybe.
Powder coat's easy. It's pretty.
But still, wouldn't you rather just put like, if you have the dies, in your case, right? You have the dies.
Yes.
So that's perfect. Yeah, I've always thought that if I was ever going to do 223, that would be one of the things that I would have to be able to do first was reload, because the ammo is expensive here and really expensive. But
Yeah, like
It's not that useful. It's mostly just target stuff here for us.
yeah, I am keeping where it is. It's I keep all my brass, and I am reloading for about 10 cents.
Around.
My 223, yeah.
That's like that's how cheap it costs. That's how much it cost me to do my 9mm. That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Mhm.
Caleb, I just put a link in the internal, and that's that. It's Can You Count? That's the one I was talking about. So it's 5 rounds, reload 5 rounds.
No, that's the wrong link. It's the Amazon link.
Oh, really? Sorry, my bad.
I was like, what is he talking about?
Whoops. What are you sending me this gay porn for?
Did you look at that link before
I didn't
yours?
look at it.
Fuse? That's the next mold I want to get from them. Because they make molds without lube grooves in them, but they're like $140.
A little heavier. Yeah. I've looked at that, and I've thought about taking my 9mm to a machine shop and just have them grind down the lube grooves a little bit.
Yeah, but then you can't. Then it'd be way oversized.
No, it would. I would still use. He wouldn't. I wouldn't have him ground down all the way. Just ground down smaller.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
I
get 'em whacked or something.
I know a guy who has one of these molds, and he says they're amazing. Of course, they better be for $140. You know, it's
Well, your bullet won't stick because
exactly.
majority of my bullets get stuck on that lube groove.
I already got the mold. I think I'm gonna buy me one this summer. One of these molds because they look nice. I'm probably gonna get
Of course, that's 40.
Yeah. If you go to over there on the left side, they got all their calibers. They do a bunch of them.
The left side. I don't see anything though. I see
Bob tooth?
30.
You get pulled?
Covers 9.
Wow, that class car is 10 feet from the closest target. It's 14 feet total. That's insane. That's 5 yards. Not even. That is
Yeah, they're close.
extremely close. That'd be fun. Especially if it wasn't Virginia count, it'd be real fun.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about it getting penalized. But even then, well, I don't know, how much is it per
Is it
procedure?
5?
5 points? I don't know. I think it is 5. So
For an A is 5.
I'm saying if you shoot procedural per shot fired, like a
No, that's 4 feet. Okay. No, 10 feet. Yeah, the ones we did it seemed a lot closer than 10 feet. But anyway. Yeah, it's just kind of cool to. Because if I do 100, I don't know, I'd probably do 124. Probably do 124 grain flat point.
That's what I was looking at. Yeah, either that one or the
Because that means 124, I'd probably be pushing close to 130 grains.
Or what about the 124 CR1?
Well, I like the flat point just because it makes a nice circle in the
That's true in the paper.
paper.
Yeah.
Or even do that semi-wad cutter.
Which one's that? Oh, the 145 grain? Or they have a 125 too, yeah. They got a lot of options for the 9mm. They have like what?
Well, it's 9 and 357, 38.
They have 34. They have 34 different designs. Well, yeah, like you said, some of them are for 38, heavier. Which I guess you could shoot those out of 9mm, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Because all you have to do is swage it down.
Well, yeah, you just gotta make sure it's not too heavy, or it won't go out the barrel. I mean, shooting a 200 grain bullet out of a 9mm might not be a good.
Yeah, you won't be able to put that much powder into it.
Yeah, but not because of the case capacity, but because the bullet will probably take up so much space in the case too.
Right. And you still have to get it so short.
I bet you could shoot a 148 grain bullet through 9mm, maybe.
Oh yeah,
148 grain. Yeah, they make 147.
Yeah, they make 147s a lot.
So they got 158. You might be able to get away with that.
Yeah.
I thought about shooting 140s because you could,
Yeah.
load them light. For
But, the 140s would be cool, and you could still. I mean, let's see, this one guy came down. He was shooting 147 grains at like 800 feet a second.
exactly.
And being fine. I mean, he was putting like 3 grains of powder into it.
That's the cheap way to do it right there.
Yeah, and he was like 10 or 15% above minor.
Power factor, yeah. That's how you game your loads.
And he said it was so soft because you know how a 45 is just nice, soft, like a 1911. How soft shooting those are.
Mm-hmm.
He said that's how it felt. It felt out of his shadow. Just nice and hardly any recoil. Just nice thing.
There was a lady here. There was a lady shooting at one of the matches a while back like that. Actually, it was the first match I ever went to, and I was like, as soon as she started shooting, I was like, "What is that?" I was like, "That's like I thought it was like 22 or something." I was like, "Well, I knew it wasn't 22." But I was like, "What the heck?" And then I was like, "Oh, it must be 9mm 47s."
Yep, 147 grain.
But mine 125s. They shoot pretty light, anyways.
Same with me.
Almost. I mean, it's almost like there's not hardly any recoil. I mean, you just gotta make sure you return your front sight.
Yeah, that's my problem. I get into a rhythm, and I can't return, and I pull the trigger before I return to the front side or before it settles.
Yeah, I've gotten better at it. Usually don't. I've never shot over a target because of that.
Oh, I've never shot over a target.
Usually, if I miss a target, like a flat out miss, if it's like an easy shot that I just miss, it's because I'm sweeping across it too fast, like going down like there's like 3 or 4 targets. I'm like trying to go to the next one before I finish.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not too. I haven't been doing too bad. I've been getting better at it. And then there's targets that I miss just because they're like really hard shots, where I'm in a rush and they're far away. I'm like, that's a good enough sight picture.
Yeah, you fire it and
crap.
no.
Charlie Mike, Alpha Mike. And the first shot was fine.
Yep, I understand that.
At one of my matches, like 2 months ago, they had a mini steel popper like at 30 yards. That thing sucked.
Why? What happened? You miss it?
I mean,
Well,
I eventually hit it, but
a mini steel popper, you're looking at what, 6 inches wide at its widest,
I think so, yeah.
and only it's probably only like a foot tall. But I mean, you can only hit top 6 inches of it.
Well, it's like 2 foot tall, I guess.
So it is.
I've actually got a video of it. And it wasn't me shooting it. It was my friend. Oh no, I didn't put the video on YouTube. Never mind. It's on my phone.
It was a private.
I'm gonna look at it now and see if it was a mini popper. It may have been a regular popper. I'm pretty sure it was a mini because it was pretty dang hard to knock down way out there.
Yeah, those mini poppers out at distance kind of suck.
It was funny. We had an all steel stage at our last match.
My friend
was shooting me, but he's new. That was only his second match, whatever, and he doesn't realize that steel is a lot harder than you think it is. Like everybody goes in the mentality that steel is easy to hit. Steel is not easy to hit.
It's so darn hard. I hate steel. I mean, and that's the first thing I do is we have at the range I go to. She has a 6-plate, 6 steel plate rack, and I go cross bay, so I'm probably 40 yards away. And the first thing I do is try to clear that plate rack.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go and do other stuff. But I need to go out there more. There's been so much ice and stuff. I could get down to the range, I wouldn't be able to get back out of the range. So.
Yeah, we got snow yesterday and it's still on the ground. It was still on the ground today, but it's supposed to be. It'll probably all gone tomorrow.
We still have snow from 2 weeks ago on the ground.
I can't tell if that was a mini popper or a regular size popper. It may have been a regular. I don't know. No, it was definitely a.
Because our regulars are usually what, 8 or 12 inches at the widest.
No, it was definitely a mini because it wasn't even taller than a 55-gallon barrel.
Okay, then yeah, it was a mini.
Because it was sitting right beside the barrel in the video, and it wasn't taller than the first barrel. How did I just turn the brightness off? Crap. My dad's phone works. There we go.
Are there any questions out in the chat?
I don't know. I've been flying. Listen to you guys.
Anyways, I'm waiting on my AR upper though to get here, and like I said, I think what I'm gonna do is whenever I get the optics for it, eventually I'm gonna like I said, a 1:4 scope, and then do offset iron sights because I was looking at the scope I'm getting, and it's gonna be too big for me to be able to put
Be swapping back and doing your.
yeah. Well, I probably won't even swap unless I'm like just insanely close. They'll just be there for backups in case my optic dies or something.
Yeah.
Just to have that option. Because I'm not gonna have very much rail space. My forend isn't gonna be not gonna have any Picatinny mount on it. It's gonna be a tube.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll be lightweight and easy to grab. I'll show you. I'll actually.
And then your 45 Angular, is everything going to be off your upper and not actually on your forend? So you'll have a real short sight radius?
No, well, you can get attachments that are adapters, so I will have the front sight mounted on the rail, I think, because I gotta check into that actually, because I'm not 100% positive that I can get a right adapter for it.
For both of my ARs, I have Troy rails on both of them.
Troy what?
Troy rails.
Yeah, they're nice.
Rails. I have one of each on. Both of them have the 15-inch one. So my front sight's way the hell out there.
This is the rail. This is the tube I'm gonna get forend. It's cheap and it looks nice. So compared to some of the other rails out there.
I've heard of Dawson. Yes.
Yeah. So it's.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see it along the top.
It's one piece aluminum. And then I'm assuming that's what I'm confused about on the ARs. When it says the barrel nut is included, does that mean you have to take the barrel off to put this thing on?
Yes. See at the very front of it?
Yeah.
That's your barrel nut. That's your barrel nut, and that's what your forend will screw into.
So you actually have to remove the barrel, or just loosen the.
You have to take the barrel nut off.
Okay.
So that means your gas port's going to have to come off. You're going to get your gas port off. You're going to have to take your muzzle device off.
Oh yeah, I knew that. The compensator and the gas block, right?
Yeah, you're going to have to pull all that off. So yeah, you'll be able to pull your barrel out once you get that barrel nut off.
So I have to take the gas tube off too?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it comes off when you take the gas block out, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's not hard then. I've seen the video. All you gotta do is just drive the pins out, take that gas block off.
Yes.
Which is something I need to do. I need to get me a roll pin punch set because aren't those held in by roll pins?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or, some of them are held in by set screws. Mine are held in by set screws. So.
And then when I get a low profile gas block, I'm gonna get one. I think what I'm gonna do is get one that actually has a rail on top of it. That way I could use that for my front or rear sight, or my front sight for my offset sight.
Your forearm will go over it, so you won't be able to.
I don't know if this one will, because I was looking
That's a 15-inch.
Is
I
it?
saw it. Where did I see that?
Because I was looking for the link for the other day and I couldn't find it. Because STI doesn't sell it by itself. Like as far as I've seen, it's on their website.
Let's see. That's longer than. Well, yeah, it's a long compensation length. So yeah, I bet you that's 15-inch.
Well, here's a picture. Maybe they had it on a rifle length gas system or something in this picture. But there was a picture of it. Yeah, like this right here. So this is what I was looking at. Right. It's gonna be a long link. It's a Google picture, but.
I'm going to put these in the side chat so people can actually see what we're talking about.
So you're talking about this gas block right here. It sits right in front of the handguard. And that'd be perfect for me because then I can just put my sight on there.
Yep, you can definitely do that. Yeah, if you scroll down, well, no. Yeah, you really can't tell how far out front that is.
That's what I'm saying, because there's pictures of it. I saw no picture of it like that. But
I mean, if that's what you're wanting, I'd get the gas block first, and then I'm sorry, get your handguard first,
right, and
and
then
then get your gas block. Because if not, all you have to do is take and put a rail on the very top of that, which looks like it accepts rail sections across the top.
There's little holes drilled in
Yeah,
it.
you can see little holes. So you get little small rail sections, put it there at the end, and you're fine.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to be mounting on the front of it. It's just the offset sight, and that's it.
Same here. Well, I may have a light on mine.
I was going to say if I ever was going to 3-gun stuff with a head load light, I would, but that's probably going to be like the more bigger matches because most.
But usually if you have a rail, you can still mount it behind your front sight and have your offset.
You can mount what behind your front sight?
Your light.
Oh yeah.
Like if you have an offset to the right for your 45 degrees, you can have your light offset to the left or something.
Oh yeah, that's what I would have it.
And just use that same rail section.
Yeah, but I really like that rail. Like, it's just, I don't know, it looks really nice and it's good priced. And it's one, and what I really like too is it's one piece. Like I was worried, like a lot of the rails I've seen are 2 pieces. I don't want them coming apart.
Yeah.
So I know that one's not going to go anywhere because it's gonna be hooked right into the barrel nut. So.
Yeah, and usually those have or locking bolts in it that. Let's see. Yeah, well, after you screw on your barrel nut, you'll probably, as you're screwing in your forend, you'll probably have some bolts that go in to make sure it doesn't back out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I'm gonna get one more flight in.
My battery's charging right now.
Yeah, I got mine just finished charging.
These virtual flights make you charge the battery.
No, I'm actually flying.
No, but they will run out of fuel on you. You program it to be. Or like that when I look away and I crash. Well, my battery for my quadcopter is charging.
Whoa!
You had it in advanced mode still.
I think so, yes. And it was, the quadcopter was right underneath me whenever it was, and it flew off.
That
right
flight didn't last long.
Yeah, it flew off right into my hands. So.
Good thing you had the prop guards on.
Well, 2 of the props popped off.
Yeah. I had that happen to me yesterday, and it took me like an hour to find it.
Yeah, make sure you put the right prop in the right place too, according to the marking on the prop and the quadcopter.
And maybe
They don't make those marks dark enough. You can barely see them.
how do you get the lights off? Oh, I remember. I got it. Shush. You're one of the guys wanting this.
Don't be a pansy. Take it and fly outside in the dark.
Yeah, no.
I've done that before. You can do it. That's what the lights are good for too, because they helps you orientate.
I saw one mod where he actually went and turned his lights upside down.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh yeah, they do all kinds of mods like that.
What's the point of dropping the phone on the copter?
Dropping a phone? What do you mean?
Well, someone was just screen sharing. I'm assuming that was you.
Me.
That's Quark. He was doing a simulator.
Quark.
Yeah, it's my simulator. I didn't drop my phone. I just crashed a plane because I was like, oh, my arm's getting sore from Being
No, I
aware
saw
for this
some
trend.
other video that you must have had it on in the background. Showed some guy like dropping his iPhone onto his. I don't know if it was a quadcopter or what it was, but some sort of rechargeable flying machine.
That wasn't me. I didn't watch anything like that.
Whoa! Oh, sweet! It even landed right up. Sweet. Sweet. It
Mine,
flew behind me.
mine tends to land whenever I have a rough landing or I hit something and it falls. It usually tends to land right side up most of the time.
Cut the props. That's all I gotta say. Cut the motor.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to run when it. Yeah, as soon as it starts to fall, just don't give it any throttle.
Kill battery up.
That goes against a lot of stuff I've learned flying RC planes.
What does?
Oh, I finally figured out what happened. Is I watched a video a while back. Well, and it ended. Well, YouTube has this new thing where it will, after a certain amount of time, it'll just start playing another video.
I know. I just noticed
A
that.
random video. I hate that. Hate that.
When
And
did that
that's
start?
what happened.
Start playing my videos randomly.
I think it does it by the uploader, doesn't it? Doesn't it play the same upload?
No, it won't. Mine
Spike.
jumped.
It's about the same topic, I guess, right?
Yes.
So far, it hasn't bothered me that much. Like I watched, because I just noticed it today. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And the next video I saw, I was interested in it, so I watched it too.
The red blinking light on the back end. What's that?
It's the anus.
Red blinking light? Are you
Yeah.
recording a video?
No.
Yeah. No, the only light that should be on the back is the little blue one by the.
Well, I don't. Maybe.
It'll blink every now and then, though. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
You actually flying that around the room without crashing it?
Yeah, you see that?
It's
red?
blue. It's blue.
You don't see red every now and again?
Yeah, it looks like you're.
That's recording. It's recording what you're doing. You got an SD card in there?
No.
Yeah. So you should put your pants back on.
I have pants on.
You lost the prop, it looks like, didn't you?
Yes, they're in my hand.
Oh, okay.
B.
By the way, don't try to fly it with just 3 props.
Yeah, I can see where that wouldn't work.
What if you just did 2 and they were diagonal of each other?
Yeah, it still
Not
wouldn't
enough
work.
power.
You would just sit there and run.
Not enough lift. I mean, that's a really neat thing. They actually have one now that a person can sit on and fly that's got, I think, 8 electric, like big electric helicopter engines. And the guy sits in the middle of it and flies it. And I'm just thinking, that's so dangerous.
It's called a sit and spin.
Oh no, it actually flies. No, it flies, man. I've seen the videos. It flies. But yeah, it's just like, that's crazy, man. I don't want to sit on top of a Mixmaster. I just don't.
Alright, I'm gonna head out, guys.
All right.
So,
Yeah, I'm going to be heading out soon.
thanks for the chat, Fuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, like next week I got like $70 for stuff you gotta order from me, Khalid.
We got a new guy. We got a new guy hosting chats. Yay! Guys, Quark was getting really like grumpy.
That is true.
Well, yeah, it is. And I really appreciate somebody else coming out and doing it, because otherwise I'd have to, and that'd suck.
Whoa, there went 3 props.
Did you fly in someone's hair? I flew a helicopter into my wife's hair one time. She really didn't like that. I was in the doghouse for a while.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I'm missing a green prop. This is
Yeah,
not
my cat. I've got 4. The boys hate that quadcopter. I'm like, male. The female just sits there and looks at it like, that something I can eat?
Yeah. I can fuck that up real easy. I'm just not going to worry about it. And the boys are like, oh my god, it's moving and it doesn't smell like anything we can eat. Run away.
And it makes a really weird noise.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a cat that you could not vacuum. You had to lock the cat in the bathroom if you were going to vacuum, because otherwise the cat would attack the vacuum. Because the vacuum was just its enemy, and it had to kill it. And I'm not shitting you. This was a cat you had to. If you wanted to vacuum your carpet, you had to put the cat in the bathroom, because otherwise he would go insane and attack the vacuum.
Mine just run away and go and hide.
You know why these quadcopters are so popular, right? Is because they don't break their blades all the time like the helicopters do.
Well, if he took that blade guard off, he'd be replacing blades left and right.
Oh yeah,
Are you guys watching Fuss's screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It's Foos.
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 It's all right.
Dano,
and I know his real name now.
I know.
Yeah. Now you know where I get the foos from.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fairly stable. I'm doing. Whoa.
Yep. That's kind of the way I fly mine. Usually they crash into a wall or a corner or something with a flam inside. Outside, it's great as long as you're willing to get up at 6 in the morning, because that's the only time the wind's calm here.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's just enough wind that you can't fly rockets, radio-controlled airplanes, or helicopters. Well, some radio-controlled airplanes you can fly up to about a 20-mile-an-hour wind, but
And that's all she's.
I have one I can do that with, but it's gas-powered, and I hate gas-powered airplanes now.
Oh, I like the nitro-powered.
Nope. Well, that's nitro. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, they're horrible. They're horrible. I got a 4.5 motor for my Beaver, and
You got a motor for your Beaver, really?
yeah, 4.5. Yeah, it's a 6-foot wingspan Beaver. It'll carry 10 pounds.
Oh, that's a pretty big Beaver.
Of hash.
Is it shaved?
Well, no, it's pretty streamlined, but I don't call it shaved.
Sharpest tool in the shed. That's what
The standard bush
No.
plane. Well, I guess you couldn't call it shaved because it's a bush plane.
Wow.
But it actually will carry a good load at a decent speed. And
Sorry.
the hell's wrong with you? If I tell you about our
Just listen to what you
teller
said.
machines, if I tell you about our
your
automatic
Beaver could
teller
carry a
machines,
good
are you
load
going to
at
lose it?
speed? Your Beaver can carry a load at a good load at a decent speed, right?
Yeah. If I tell you about our automatic teller machines in Canada, are you going to lose it? Because we have ATM machines.
So do we.
See, there you go.
Yeah, but we don't have Beavers that can carry a good load.
All right, and on that
Well,
note,
no,
I'm
actually,
gonna leave you
the
guys with
American
Bob.
military bought a whole bunch of them in World War
Enjoy
II.
him. He's a lot of fun. Just you got to put him away in his kennel once in a while, but otherwise he's okay. All right, he's all yours, guys. He's your responsibility.
Nah, I'm actually going to
You can't see me, Dano, but I'm telling you, you're number one in my book. Number one.
Yep, I can see that finger from here.
Yeah, number one. I'm
Better than being a number 2.
Okay, bye.
See you, Dano.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get out of here, too. I got to
All right,
work
guys.
tomorrow.
Always good
Alright,
talking
night,
to you guys. Fun time.
Hey, Quark, stay on a little bit.
Okay.
And tomorrow.
See you guys.